Look at the table where you sit tonight. It isn't merely a piece of polished wood or marble inside a dining room. It is the coordinates of human communion, the ancient, warm perimeter where we gather to mark life's most defining milestones. It is where we toast to promotions, whisper marriage proposals, steady ourselves through farewells, and lower our biological guards over a shared bottle of wine. But look past the elegant plate in front of you. Look at the glowing square of the QR code etched into the corner of the polished wood, or the sleek point-of-sale terminal resting in the server's palm, silently logging your table's dwell time and item velocity. Have you ever walked into a contemporary bistro and realized the background music matches the exact ambient chatter of the room, or that the menu items shifting on your smartphone screen seem uncannily tailored to your mood? That seamless orchestration is the opening parameter of the next merger. We have traded the unpredictable, human warmth of the neighborhood joint for an optimized, frictionless transaction. For the past 8 episodes, we have traced the progressive monitoring of the private individual in private spaces: your car, your kitchen, your living room, your bedroom. But the restaurant represents a critical expansion of the sequence. The system is expanding outward from the private sphere back into the social world. 25 years ago, the restaurant was a fortress of social isolation. When you stepped through the front door, you entered an unmonitored vacuum of pure presence. No central server compiled a continuous ledger of your dining velocity. Your conversation existed exclusively within the temporary soundscape of that specific booth. You were the sole pilot of an unlinked culinary experience, and you didn't realize that dining out was synonymous with total invisibility from the market. But in 2026, the restaurant is no longer an escape from the systemic grid. It is the space where human sociality itself is being profiled. To pull out a chair today is to occupy a critical coordinate in a vast, data-driven experiment. That shift from a localized sensory ritual to the structural optimization of our social appetite followed a blueprint. I'm the Analyst. This is Blueprint Sequence. Rewind the tape a quarter century. In 2001, the restaurant was a space of tactile friction, deep physical media, and absolute data anonymity. It was hospitality as pure performance, where the dining room was the stage and the kitchen was the backstage. Remember the dining ritual. It was a sequence defined by physical boundaries and human-to-human handshakes. You walked into a room without a pre-computed digital profile attached to your name. You opened a heavy, leather-bound paper menu whose layout was fixed, unchanging based on your personal browsing history or real-time surge pricing. The waiter stood beside your table with a paper pad and a pen, reading the room's energy through genuine human intuition, capturing an order that existed only as ink on paper until it reached a physical ticket wheel in the kitchen. Remember the mechanical weight of the hospitality apparatus. Payments weren't a frictionless wave of a device. They were a physical transaction involving paper cash or a plastic credit card run through a mechanical slider. The background music didn't rely on an enterprise predictive playlist. It came from a multi-disc CD changer whirring behind the bar, or a local radio broadcast playing into the open air. The landscape of your meal was completely unquantified. If you ordered a steak or a glass of wine, no central database logged your preferences, tracked how long you lingered over dessert, or connected your meal choices to a corporate health profile. If a joke erupted in laughter, that internal social experience existed exclusively within the air of the room. The walls were deaf, the menus were static, and the front door closed out the global infrastructure. You were a guest in a private theater. Fast forward to our current coordinate, 2026. The dining room has been structurally re-engineered into an algorithmic ingestion matrix, shifting its focus from individual consumption to profiling the social unit itself. This conversion operates on 3 escalating layers of systemic friction. The first level is the algorithmic gatekeeper. The physical act of discovering and securing a table has been completely centralized by proprietary booking platforms. Your reservation profile is a persistent digital identity. These enterprise platforms score your reliability, log your average spend, track your cancellation risks, and tier your access to elite tables based on your consumer value index. The platform knows your hospitality value before your coat is checked. The second level is the kinetic extraction layer. By scanning a QR code, you initiate a live, two-way data handshake. The digital menu tracks your eyes as you scroll, registers how many seconds you hesitate over a premium item, and dynamically adjusts recommendations in real time. Behind the swinging doors, this flows directly into the forensic kitchen layer. The artisan kitchen is integrated into an enterprise logistics platform. Point-of-sale data instantly triggers predictive preparation models, computing the exact second a line cook should drop a protein based on table clearance metrics. The human artisan is reduced to an execution node in a logistics pipeline. The third level is the social graph extraction. This is the true escalation of the architecture. The reservation platform and the table sensors are no longer tracking you as a lone consumer. They are profiling your table as a collective social unit. The system builds real-time relationship maps of your dining companions, cross-referencing your social network's combined spending power, professional alignments, and collective behavioral patterns. The restaurant's specific execution is that it monetizes human connection itself. Your relationships are being profiled, your social circles are being indexed, and the warmth of mutual presence is systematically mined for predictive data. By 2051, the concept of a primitive, material restaurant with an unquantified kitchen and an unmonitored menu will be an anthropological curiosity, a relic of a chaotic and unoptimized culinary past. The data reveals two branching sequences for the future of our gastronomic spaces. Possibility A, the hyper-personalized metabolic atelier. In this sequence, the restaurant transitions into an ultra-luxury, fluid architecture wellness atelier. The space is a stunning masterpiece of glowing minimalist design, where tables are crafted from continuous, seamless, smart touch surfaces. When you sit down, the table immediately syncs with your neural implant or biometric wearable, reading your blood glucose, hydration levels, and current micronutrient deficits. The menu doesn't exist as a static list. It is a personalized computational layout generated on the fly. The kitchen, a marvel of automated high-art gastronomy, microprints and sculpts dishes tailored precisely to optimize your biological performance for the following day. But look closer at the true cost of this frictionless luxury. A generation that surrenders its culinary choice to an optimization algorithm completely loses the joy of visceral surprise and shared cultural discovery. You do not choose what to taste. You ingest a subscription-locked healthcare regimen disguised as a 3-star Michelin experience. We are no longer adventurous diners. We are biological assets receiving an exquisite nutritional software patch. Possibility B, the sovereign social contract. In this sequence, the compounding psychological burnout from total social and metabolic profiling forces a radical structural rejection of the digital grid. Society demands a return to raw, unmonitored human presence. The restaurant returns not as a shielded bunker, but as a space of radical jurisdictional and communal anonymity. These environments are built as breathtaking architectural pavilions of raw cedar, hand-chiseled stone, and open-fire hearths. But their true protection is legal and structural. These sanctuaries operate under strict frameworks where the act of sharing a meal is legally protected as a private social contract. Inside these walls, dining companions' identities and conversations are structurally protected by law, shielded from data logging in the same manner as attorney-client privilege. Here, hospitality is intentionally reclaimed as an unpredictable, sacred human right. You sit down at massive communal wooden tables and eat whatever the earth managed to yield that morning. You accept the raw friction of an unoptimized menu, The heavy, unpredictable calories, the wild variance of seasonal flavors, and the unrecorded conversations of a completely offline room. We regain our absolute privacy, but we accept total social self-reliance. Inside this room, you are entirely responsible for your own companions, your own choices, and the unrecorded consequences of your own presence. Both potentials represent the final evolution of the sequence we began in 2001. We have moved from the guest to the subscriber to the commodity. In this final transition, we have perfected the efficiency of the meal, but we have sacrificed the safety of the sanctuary. The dining table has become the newest capture node in the sequence. We began this sequence sitting before a simple printed menu, manually paying with cash, completely invisible to the infrastructure of the world. We end it as biological organisms, sitting at an automated, sensor-driven table that audits our collective relationships to align our social appetite with the market grid. The design of the modern restaurant was never just about better food delivery or faster table service. It was about the final colonization of our social downtime. It is about tracking the exact coordinates where humans connect over a shared meal and ensuring that even in our moments of celebration, intimacy, and indulgence, the individual is generating value for the network. And as the unmonitored dining room disappears from our civilization, we must look at our tables, our devices, and our plates and ask who or what is truly managing our taste. When the moment of communion itself is assigned a yield value, even our celebrations are just metrics on a corporate ledger. Every bite you take now leaves a permanent mark in the corporate telemetry logs. The room is watching, the system is learning, and the blueprint is nearly complete. I'm the analyst. Sequence complete.